Okay, so at this stage, I'm going to show you how to add a paint finish to your keyring design. What I'm going to do first off, I'm going to use some wirewall just to clean the face of the section that I'm going to be painting. So you can see, just go over it with a bit of wirewall just to clean it off and make sure that the paint sticks nicely. So just wirewall carefully on top of that, and it should do the job. Now, at this stage, I'm going to use acrylic paints. It needs to be acrylic. They're a much better quality, thicker consistency. And I put a tiny little bit on a very fine paintbrush. It's only a small thing that I need to paint. And then slowly apply the paint, and you'll see that I'll keep rotating the keyring around so that the brush tip is in the most appropriate angle for the sections that I'm painting. Okay, so I'll just fast forward a little bit. So you'll see the keyring constantly keep rotating around. If you really take your time to make sure that you get it as neat as you possibly can. You see, just put enough on the tip of the brush to cover the section, and a little bit does go a long way. So don't feel like you need to put a lot on your brush. And you see, you just build it up until you get it, and you can just like dab the paint on so that almost like stipple it on if it's in a tiny little area, so it's more comfortable. So you keep rotating the keyring around, and then obviously you go over the sections that you need to. So let's just fast forward it on. Okay, so I've swapped my brush over onto a different colour, and you can see I've done the red already. Now there's a bit of paper towel here just to clean the brush. So I've got a pot of water. I clean the brush and then I dry. You got to make sure your brush is dry, because if it's not, it'll water down the paint and it'll stop it from sticking very easily to the metal. It'll stop it from sticking very well. So you can see every time, just be really careful that your brush isn't wet. Okay, I'll fast forward it on now. Okay, just keep moving with it. Tidy up all the sections. Again, cleaning the brush with the water and then on the paper towel. Then any sections that need to be blue. I'm just outlining it with a black now just to highlight any of the details. Okay. Just keep moving till the end. Okay, just touching up any little areas. So I'm just going over any sections that need to be just tidied up. All right, so at this stage, what you can do is to speed up the drying process is you can use a bit of heat with a dryer, but if you put it too close to the keyring, because it's metal, it will get very hot and the paint will actually peel off. So you got to make sure you keep it at quite a distance away to stop that from happening. And obviously just be really careful. You'd be better off leaving it to dry naturally. So leave it for an hour or two just to make sure it's fully dry. Obviously, if you're doing it at the start of the lesson, then a little bit of heat at a distance away will help to speed up the process. Okay, thank you. Okay, so at this stage, just like I said before, I'm drying the keyring a little bit at a nice distance away. Really try to avoid doing it too close to the keyring, because you will mess it up and you'll overheat it and it'll bubble or it'll discolor. It can sometimes turn like a yellow color if it's too like almost like the paint burns, especially on the white sections. Just be really careful when doing that. Now at this stage, I'm going to put some varnish. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to wibble the edges. So if I've got any paint on any of the edges, Just going to wire wall off any of the sections where I've got paint on, just to tidy up any of those sections first. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is varnish the face of it. So I'm going to use a clear varnish. This is an external varnish, but I sometimes use like a nail varnish. A clear nail varnish works just as well. And you make sure you just got a small amount on your brush, wipe the excess off on the side of the tin, and all you do is you just brush on a thin layer. Obviously you need to make sure that the paint is fully dry before doing this, but you brush on a thin layer of varnish. And what the varnish will do is it will stop the paint from chipping off. So just it creates a good connection to the metal and avoids anything from chipping off. So you can see, hopefully you shouldn't really notice it. It's just a very thin layer of varnish, and it works like a protective, waterproof, just like sticky layer so that if it's in your pocket with your keys or anything, then the keys won't hopefully make it scratch off. Now use the heat again, so I'm using the dryer at a distance. Really be careful at this stage. If you do overheat the varnish, you will make it discolor again. You'll make it like a yellowy color. So keep it a good distance away from the keyring itself. Okay, when you're happy it's done, and you open up the keyring, however the Met technique is, and then you then position it in and it's finished. Okay, thank you for watching.